There's a skill you were supposed to learn as a kid, and if you didn't, it could be the reason anxiety still runs your life today. Let's uncover what this missing piece is, why it matters so much, and how you can finally rebuild it, no matter how old you are now. The skill we are talking about is emotional regulation. It sounds like a big clinical term, but it's something we do all the time. Think of it as a kind of thermostat for your feelings. It's an internal process where you notice you are getting too hot with anger or too cold with sadness, and you adjust the dial to find your way back to a state where you can think and function. This isn't about ignoring feelings or stuffing them down. It's about learning to sit with the intensity and ride the wave of an emotion without letting it sweep you away. When this internal thermostat didn't have a chance to get calibrated correctly in our early years, life becomes much harder. Without the ability to manage our internal world, a small spark of worry can easily ignite into a wildfire of anxiety. Study after study shows that children who struggle with emotional regulation are much more likely to develop anxiety later on. This isn't about blaming anyone or finding fault. It's about recognizing that a fundamental skill of being human may not have been fully developed. This connection is not just a passing theory. It's built on a solid foundation of research. Longitudinal studies where scientists follow children for many years have shown that difficulty with emotional regulation is a powerful predictor of future anxiety. Researchers observed that a child's struggle to notice their feelings, accept them, and then act in a way that aligns with their goals, even while feeling something intense, was directly connected to higher levels of anxiety down the road. In other words, when kids don't learn how to feel their feelings and still move forward, those emotions can grow bigger and scarier over time. Instead of handling a tough feeling in the moment, they get stuck, avoid it, or try to push it away. And that builds up into the kind of anxiety that can feel impossible to manage later in life. Now, biology certainly plays a role. Some of us are born with a nervous system that is simply more sensitive, a temperament that is more prone to anxiety because of our genetics. But here's the crucial part. Those biological tendencies don't automatically lead to an anxiety disorder. It's often the combination of that innate sensitivity and underdeveloped emotional regulation skills that can create the conditions for future anxiety. Of course, other factors like trauma and major life stresses also play a significant part in the story. So, what does this actually look like in childhood? It often shows up in ways we might have dismissed as just kids being kids. First, consistently huge reactions to small problems. Let's say, for example, a favorite toy breaks, and the child's reaction is a complete, inconsolable meltdown that lasts for an hour. The emotional reaction is a tidal wave when the event itself was just a small ripple. Second, a deep pattern of avoiding things. This is the child who feels sick before every birthday party, or who refuses to try out for the school play. It's not just about being shy. It's an active strategy to avoid feeling the discomfort of big emotions like fear or excitement. Third, having a hard time identifying what they are feeling. You ask them, "What's wrong?" And the only answer you get is a shrug, or maybe, "I just feel bad." This points to a disconnect from their own internal world. After all, you can't regulate an emotion you can't even name. And fourth, getting stuck in a feeling. This is the child who stays sad or angry long after the thing that triggered it has passed. They can't seem to shake it off. They lack the internal tools to process the emotion and move on, so they remain trapped in that state for hours or even days. So here's what I want you to take away. You can learn this skill too, even if no one taught you when you needed it most. Start small. When you feel a big emotion rising up, pause and name it. This is anger. This is fear. Naming it will help to soften its intensity. Next, give yourself what you might give a child, your own calm presence. Place one hand on your chest and take slow, deep breaths while fully feeling the feeling. And remind yourself, this is uncomfortable, but it's safe to feel this. I can ride this wave. Little by little, you'll build the same skill your younger self never got. You'll prove to your body that big feelings don't have to overwhelm you. They can come, they can go, and you can stay steady through it all. Just be patient with yourself and keep practicing. You know, the way we learned or didn't learn to handle our emotions as kids has a huge impact on how we experience anxiety now. It's a big piece of the puzzle, but it's not a life sentence. It's an explanation. And when we have an explanation, we have the power to write a new chapter. The story of your anxiety doesn't have to be controlled by your past. It can be understood, and it can be rewritten starting today. Does any of this sound familiar, either from your own childhood or from a child in your life? If so, please share your experience in the comments. It can help others feel seen and understood. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.